First, and understand this, Harry, because it's very important. Not all wizards are good. Some of them go bad.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Priority Holder, and today we'll be playing Budget Blue-Red Wizard's Burn in the Explorer format. Now the wizard payoffs we have are Adeliz the Cinder Wind, a Flying Haste that can pump wizards temporarily when we cast spells, and playing wizards allows us to use Wizard's Lightning, which gets a cost reduction if we control a wizard. Basically turns this into Lightning Bolt, which is a famously powerful card. That's not the only burn spells we have though. We also have 8 shock variants, and as well as a shock attached to our creature. Viashino Pyromancer can dome the opponent when it comes into play. We also have a card advantage package with Light Up the Stage and Battlewing Mystic. If we're empty-handed, it's just upside of drawing 2 cards when we kick it, as well as some hasty and aggressive threats filling out the rest of the curve. And the rares in this deck are Soul-Scar Mages. We just don't really have any comparable 1-drops. Like, it's just sort of a necessary inclusion if you want to try this deck, and some Spirebluff Canals as well as Jegantha Companion. But this deck needs blue and red early enough that you just have to have some better duels in here. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can aggro and or burn people out. Let's jump into some games. Alright, this looks like a great hand. Wish our duel wasn't tapped, as we get hit with the turn 1 Thoughtseize, a classic in Explorer. And they go ahead and grab Light Up the Stage, so they're targeting our card advantage. We're going to lead with Soul-Scar Mage. The Lavarunners have a chance to be hasty, so we're going to hold on to them. And the tap land budget mana base is stinging a little bit right here, but luckily we still have some early plays despite that. All black lands from the opponent in Phyrexian Arena means it's probably mono black Devotion that we're facing. Which means we gotta hurry and get them dead before the gray merchants start slapping us around. Now fortunately for us, Phyrexian Arena is gonna tax their life total, and they go for another one. But they also have Blood Chief's Thirst to bite down one of our creatures, and we miss a land. So yeah, we're gonna play out the Stormkin, and we're just trying to hurry. Like, Meathook Massacre would just be probably game over right now, honestly. The opponent falls to 5, but they're just fishing up tons of cards. Okay, so there's Nykthos. Aetherborn is mana neutral with Nykthos. And 6, here comes Grey Merchant. So opponent's gonna gain a hefty chunk of life back. And they hit us on our Thoughtseize, but that is gonna ding them for 2 more life, so they take our other Light Up the Stage. Now, you could see that it took a while to decide what to do in this turn. Like, should I attack in and like use Play with Fire to kill the blocker? We just so limited on our mana, because we could play another Lavarunner if we need, or run out the Mystic for another flyer. Like, I want to get them dead. The thing is, we can't quite get there this turn. We're like just short. Factoring in the Phyrexian Arenas, we are just short. So ultimately decide just attack with those, because there was like Play with Fire. Yeah, we just couldn't quite get there. So we just gotta hope we survive this turn. Basically, the opponent is gonna fall to 5. They drew a ton of cards. Warlock class. The Grey Merchant probably basically just ends it effectively right here. So they charge up their Nykthos, have a ton of mana floating, and we're waiting to see what happens. And they activate Castle Lochthwain, which I'm like shocked right here, but it's actually going to kill them because they draw the card and then they're dinged. We don't even need to use our burn, but yeah, the opponent packs it in, we get a win. So bullet dodge there, but please, Abominable Tree Folk, the like button, comment and subscribe. It supports the channel and helps know what the people want. Here we go in the next game. Already mulliganing, and this is the budget mana base getting us right here, because 2 islands, and so we're down to 5 cards, which you never want to see, but we can operate off low mana, and so I'm trying to decide what to keep. I'm going to put Adeliz back, because Battlewing Mystic, if it's the last card we cast, can give us some card advantage. It can help us sort of unmulligan from this situation. So I guess we're going to see how it does on a mulligan to 5. Red-white land. Warden of the Inner Sky. So this is a new card from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. If it has 3 counters, it gets Flying and Vigilance, and you can tap 3 artifacts and or creatures to put a counter on it, and also scry 1. So I'm going to bluff the attack here. The opponent's surely not going to block because they're worried about shock to the face, pumping. Anyway, So that was a free bit of damage. We're going to use Pyromancer. Once again, saving Battlewing Mystic to hopefully refill our hand and try and unmulligan ourselves. That's me just reviewing Warden to make sure I absolutely understand. Didn't seem like, we're an aggro deck also, didn't seem like a good trade right there for us. So we keep the Pyromancer. Now, there was an argument to bluffing in with the Soul-Scar Mage, but it just seemed really big. It's 1 point of damage, but really big downside if they call our bluff right there, so decided not to do it. We could have led with Light Up the Stage to get both of them attacking, but you could see how the mana efficiency seemed to have worked better for us there. So opponent plays Thraben Inspector, Knight Errant of Eos, plus getting the Spirit. And let's see if they find something. Yes, yeah, so they get another Thraben Inspector. And they decide to charge up the Warden. Now, I thought, I was a little surprised by that because the Knight is like a brick wall blocker against us, so the opponent has taken, you know, they're basically showing no concern for our game plan at all with that play, but anyway, Battlewing to try and draw some cards. Alright, so Pyromancer is nice because that's 2 more points of burn. So we're going to slap them to 10 and just... We're hanging on for dear life because this is where they can really get going. So they shock in land, Gleeful Demolition. They're up to 20 creatures. And this is when I realized, like, oh no, Imodane's Recruiter coming down. Not to mention there's that Spirit also. So opponents could be crashing in for a ton of damage. This is turn 4. This is how much damage they're presenting. So I nearly just snap conceded to this because I'm like, sure, this is enough. But then like, well, do due diligence and like block as much damage as possible. We start taking it down to 1, and we have 5 points on board and 4 points of burn in our hand, not to mention the prowess off Soul-Scar Mage. So by sticking through that, we actually lock up the win right here with our shock. So an incredible comeback against like a really strong red-white Convoke start. So happy to see that. And that was a mulligan to 5, so feels pretty good. So we're moving on to the next one. A pretty great looking hand. Green-black land, pass. And Soul-Scar Mage. Once again, the other ones have a chance to be hasty, so we're holding on to them. Drawing the Mountain is pretty nice because it allows us to double spell next turn. Alright, so opponent passes with Abzan mana. Now, I should have already been reading Greasefang, but honestly, I had not been playing Greasefang decks in forever. So I was not getting that read right now. So go ahead and use Light Up the Stage, play the Soul-Scour, and pass. So once again, I should have had the read. So opponent actually hesitates a long time here and before making their play. But they're gonna go ahead and Witherbloom command. And I miss that they mill a Parhelion. So I should have seen that. That would change how I play this turn. So me missing that, because we have the Wizard's Lightnings to hunt Greasefang, so this is just a misplayed turn on my part because I did not see the Parhelion and I was just not cluing in that we were facing Greasefang. So fire up the other Light Up the Stage. It's a little risky because we don't have the guaranteed red source, but this is the mistake. I should have played red source and passed, holding up Wizard's Lightning. Instead, I play a Lavarunner because once again, I was not paying attention. So we are smashing it for a lot of damage. However, the opponent already has their Parhelion set up. Here comes Greasefang. And that is just really bad news for us. It doesn't insta-kill us, but it's really bad. They're going to deal 13 damage and have 2 4/4 blockers remaining. And so Parhelion's going to return. And this turn is tough because there's so many possibilities. Like, all right, what do we do? Like, do we attack in and try and bolt one of the angels down? But then the Parhelion, like, we gotta watch out if Parhelion gets binned again and reanimated by Greasefang. And so it's like, so right, I took so long. I burned through all my timeouts that right when I was gonna make the decision, I ran out of timeouts. So opponent goes for the Thoughtseize themselves plan to put Parhelion in the bin. And I misplay right here because it's better to wait until it's too late for them to cast a Grease Fang. So yeah, we pack it in. We made some misplays, and opponent's gonna par healing us. Not to mention that we had lethal angels, and so that was a rough one. I think with tighter play, might have been able to get there that game. We're gonna go ahead and go Lavarunner pass, and the Spirebluff Canals. You can just see how much better they are than the tap lands. Like, there's a reason why the rare duels are so good. So opponent hits us with the Fiery Impulse. We're gonna slam Pyromancer. And blue land pass. So I've been fighting so many discovery combo decks that I get paranoid and I make a mistake here. Like, obviously the discovery combo decks can't play small burn spells like that, and so what we're facing is a creativity deck. I know that in hindsight now, but I was not picking that up right now. So we should have slammed the Soul-Scar Mage. Instead, I was keeping up burn, but like I said, obviously it's not a creativity deck. Sorry, it's obviously not a discover deck. So we are gonna get to play with fire and hopefully scry into like a mana source. But it would have been better to get another creature on board, just another threat for them to deal with. So, especially when our mana situation is this tight right here. So Wizard's Lightning is nice, like it's very effective, but would have been a lot nicer having an extra creature on board right now. Alright, Soul-Scar Mage. And we're gonna pass. Alright, so the opponent has another Fiery Impulse. And depending on, like, who knows what the contents of their hand is. Maybe they have another burn spell, but we might have been able, if we had Soul-Scar Mage already out, we could have possibly saved it with double Wizard's Lightning in response. So if they had another removal spell, then that was it. But I think that misplay is going to cost us, because it's just could have been applying more pressure by now. They do run some counter spells, so I'm like hesitating on the Wizard's Lightning. It's not just to fire it off. We're going to try and get them dead. We don't want it getting countered if we know we're going to cast it 100%. Alright, so opponent has the Volcanic Spite. Our last creature bites the dust. Another Spirebluff Canal is nice, because that allows us to haste out Adeliz, the Cinder Wind. We're once again saving Battlewing Mystic for the card advantage. Waiting. And there's one of their counters. Make Disappear. Eliminates our threat. Now, opponent needs to hit a critical mass of mana and creatures/artifacts in order to fire off creativity. So Fable the Mirror Breaker from them. Lavarunner's not the worst, because I'm checking the spell count right here to make sure it has haste. Because we can Wizard's Lightning their creature. Once again, we always want to trim down the creatures for creativity. Haste it for 2 damage, and we're getting close. Now there's a key moment right here. They only pitch 1 card, and that sort of indicates that they have what they need. This is a combo deck. They're trying to find creativity, and the fact that they didn't like pitch multiple cards indicates they have probably a creativity in hand. So I attack in, and opponent divide by 0. So they bounce this. We're waiting to see what they get off their lessons. They get Environmental Sciences, and this is a misplay right here. Replaying Lavarunner. The heads up play would be to kick Battlewing Mystic and just discard the Lavarunner, fishing for a burn spell, because Fable's flipping right here, and opponent has a lot of cheap ways to generate artifacts. So let's see. Yeah, it's their Secrets of the... And that gives them the requisite 2 targets for creativity, and they get their 2-card win. So the heads up play would have been to purposely pitch Lavarunner, fishing for a burn spell. It's the play that is... It's not as intuitive. Like, I obviously did not see it in the time, but right afterwards I was like, dang, I should have seen that coming, knowing that the Fable flip was happening, and they have so many cheap ways to get artifacts. So we might have been able to buy ourselves a little more time to seal that win right there. Now this game, you'll notice the opponent has mulliganed down to 4 cards. That means this is a discovery combo deck right here. And that's the reason why I picked this deck at this time, is because we run like 8 shock effects, so we're ready to like hunt them. And so I'm clued in on this right now. The fact that they mulliganed so much, and here's Magma Opus, so we could see here's the treasure generation. So we are not going to tap out here. We're going to play Lavarunner and hold up one of our mini shocks. We happen to have a hand that's full of them right here. Alright, so opponent actually did not have the land to just slam the turn 3 Geological Appraiser, so we're going to fire off Play with Fire and just get some scry value. We do got to kill them before they can assemble something, and yeah, happily bottom the tap land. Okay. Now that land was nice because it allows us to play a bigger threat and still keep up a shock. Alright, so now we know they have enough mana. Here's another Magma Opus. And so they guaranteed have mana for Geological Appraiser, so we're just going to hold up on our shocks once again. Wait, just bracing for it, like waiting for them to slam, and they don't have it. We get the win. What I like about this deck is it has a strong ability to like steal wins. Like it has so many hasty creatures and burn, like we just get them low enough, and if the opponent can't quite handle us, we just dish out like a flurry of burn spells, and then that's it for them. So it really catches people off guard, and I feel like it does really well for a burn deck, and with some tighter play it could have picked up a couple more wins. So I think it could definitely hold its own. We'll see how the metagame changes. Like there's a ban coming up soon, so we'll see if anything in the Discover combo decks gets hit. I think 20 mana sources is a little too low. Like you saw some of those games you were sort of getting mana screwed and couldn't really deploy everything. So I did have 2 Spike Field Hazards in place of 2 of the shocks, which would, I think, be how I'd build a deck, except with all the Discover combos running around. Like you really need that interaction to kill Geological Appraiser. Like 1 damage isn't enough. So that's why I switched back to shocks, but maybe that change would be good enough. As far as non-budget upgrades, definitely upgrade the mana base. Throw a couple creature lands in there and get some better untapped duels. There's some like other directions you can take it, like maybe Dreadhorde Arcanist, but it can't easily flashback Wizard's Lightning, so it might need some tweaking. But this is like another really strong wizard card that could be built around. So, but yeah, let me know in the comments what is your favorite wizard card. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day.